I just wanted to film a follow-up to the Bayliner video. I did finally get the cover on it, and just wanted to mention I actually got this cover. It's a cheap cover from Academy Sports, and I've had this thing for 2 seasons now, and it's held up great. I mean, it's reinforced in all the right places. No rips yet, and I did not expect this thing to last more than 1 season, but here we are 2 years later and it's still holding up. So anyways, I just wanted to film a video about my $650 bass boat, and what we have here is a 1984 Procraft 1650V with a 1978 Evinrude 85 horsepower that I spray painted the cowling on because it was looking pretty bad. So this boat may have been purchased from this dealership here. I did a little bit of research and they're not in business anymore, but they at one time had a really good business going in Alabama, and just from the research I did online, and they were in business for a long time, so that's kind of neat. I'm sure there's some people who probably have purchased boats from them, or you know, maybe this video will find the original owner of this boat, which would be cool. But yeah, right now this was basically the setup when I purchased it. It's got a manual jack plate, I believe a 4-inch setback. It's got a whale tail to help it plane out better, and that does help keep the nose down. As it sits, the boat runs about 30 with the 85, and it's rated for a 130 horsepower. So I believe I can squeeze a little bit more out of it, but the engine's not quite running like as it should. I believe it's only actually running on 3 cylinders, so I think I can get closer to 40 out of it when I get that 4th cylinder running. You can see here the trailer's a little rough, but it is the original trailer, and I like that. It's got the Procraft logo on it. At one point the leaf springs were replaced, so it's sitting a lot higher than it should. But the boat, when I got it, didn't have this trolling. It didn't have a trolling motor on it at all. It was wired for one, but I picked this up on Marketplace for 125 bucks, and this trolling motor is great. It's a 54 pound thrust power drive pontoon with a foot pedal, and it moves this boat really well. Then I found this GPS fish finder for 20 bucks on Marketplace. Imagine that. And it came with the trolling motor transducer. So I've just been getting a bunch of sweet deals, not only on the boat but on the parts. I'm gonna jump up here and show you the boat, some of the hatches. This is the rod locker. You can fit some pretty big rods in there. I believe I got a 7-footer in there. The floor in this thing's a little soft, but you're not going to be standing in there, so that doesn't matter. Before I got the boat, this floor had been replaced, and it's kind of just set in there, you know, which is not the right way to do it, but it works. And that's actually one of the reasons I bought this boat, is because it's almost impossible to find a bass boat of this vintage with a solid floor and a solid transom. And that's thanks in part to somebody using this apparently for the life of the boat. Up here we've got some storage. There's not much storage, but just a little bit. I only keep 2 life jackets on this thing because I'm only ever gonna have 2 people on it. Got a fire extinguisher. This stuff doesn't really work. I don't have it hooked up. This is the mount for the GPS. I added this stuff here. It's just cheap crap I had laying around. Got these from Walmart. Got underneath the seat here, we got a drop-in storage box. And you can go up. I'm not really sure what it's looking like, but you can get a little bit of a view under there. Same goes for this here. Underneath here, we got messy wiring. It's a freaking bird's nest. But a lot of these old bass boats look like that. Oh, God. Alright, back here we got a live well. Big live well. It's huge. Thing's like 2 feet deep, probably 2 feet wide. Got a little cooler on this side. Cooler on this side. You could definitely turn those into live wells if you wanted to. We got the trolling motor battery here. I added the battery and the charger. Big gas tank. Look, we even got the wiring schematic right there on the back of the boat, or on the bottom of the hatch there. That's pretty neat. Here we got the house battery. I added this, the shut-off switch, added the fuel water separator, added an isolator, so when the motor's running, it's charging the trolling motor battery, which is great. And yeah, there's I had to reseal that on the fuel tank because it was leaking. Had to reseal that as well. Let's see here. Under the I'm going to show you underneath the cowling here. This was missing when I bought the boat, so I had to replace that. I got that on eBay. This whole thing was like 50 bucks. Replaced the starter solenoid. This coil pack, because the engine wouldn't run on this cylinder, and it's still not, even after I replaced that and the spark plug. I replaced all 4 of the spark plugs, but I'm still troubleshooting why it's not running on that cylinder. And the voltage regulator, I just replaced that because the engine was actually charging up to 16.5 volts, which is too high. Yeah, also I've rebuilt the carbs 3 times because they seem to keep getting clogged up somehow. I think it was a bad fuel line that was allowing debris to get in there. I checked the timing with a timing light and it was good. And all 4 cylinders have about 120 psi of compression, which is round about where they're supposed to be. So this issue I'm having with the cylinder, I'm pretty sure it's due to weak spark. So I'm kind of still troubleshooting that, but as it sits, the motor idles and runs out and pushes the boat 30 miles an hour. But I believe once I get this cylinder running or firing, I believe it should push the boat about 40 miles an hour. Couple more things. I forgot to show you the capacity plate. I've only ever had 2 people on the boat, so I can't imagine having 5 people on this thing. But it fishes 2 people really well. Oh, one thing I did too, I ripped the insulation out of here because it was falling apart and it was getting sucked. I believe that's part of the reason the carbs were gummed up. It was sucking that insulation into the carbs. And I wanted to mention something interesting about this boat. If you look at the hull profile, to me it reminds me of like a flats boat, and it's for a 16-foot boat. It's super wide and stable, and it takes waves really well, but also it's dry. And I've heard people complain about, say, like a 20-foot bass boat, and they say it's like tippy when you got a, you know, maybe a guy that's walking close to the side. Well, I've fished, I'm usually on the bow, and I've usually got a buddy in the back, and they can walk side to side, and I've never had issues with this boat being unstable. I've never felt anything but comfortable. And I take this thing out on Chickamauga Lake, and there's some big boats out there that make huge waves, so I've felt plenty safe on this thing. And down here, I'm in southeast Tennessee, these boats were actually built in Murfreesboro when they were still being built. So that's about an hour and a half north of me, and so you see tons of these boats around where I'm at. And you know, it's just cool to think like a boat that's this old. I mean, this thing's 40, basically 41 years old, and it's still pretty, for the most part, solid. I mean, it's ugly, but it's still it fishes fine for what I use it for. I like to crappie fish, and I fish for smallmouth and largemouth off of it. Last weekend I even took my brother out, and he was fly fishing off the back deck here. So I mean, it's for what it is. I mean, I've got about maybe the cost of a single charter in this boat. So I'm pretty happy with that. And maybe if you have ever owned one of these, or you do own one of these, maybe or you got any questions, I've been all through this boat, so I might be able to answer them for you. So just leave a comment and let me know what you think. Thanks.
Get away with this thing.
That's it.
Ready? Hold tight.
I got it.
I bought this rod specifically just for this.
Huh. Jesse's got a big one. I wish we had a net.
Sure brought it.
I'll try to stay out of your way, Jesse. My gosh. You think it's a bass?
Probably a catfish, I don't know. It's almost here.
Oh boy, let's see. Let's hope we get a look at it at least. No! Did you see it?
There's catfish, blue cat.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.